Breaking news. Don't bring your trouble to the Supreme Court, as you did during the tribunal. Asari warns protesters. Hey, hey, my country people. It don't happen, oh. Asari Dokubo has issued a strong warning to the obedient, to Peter Obi's supporters, that they shouldn't try to protest at the Supreme Court, just as they did during the tribunal. So, this is Asari Dokubo, who we all know is a very strong supporter of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and has warned protesters, especially those loyal to the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi, not to foment trouble at the Supreme Court, as they did during the presidential election tribunal. Asari gave the warning in reaction to comments credited to a group loyal to Obi. Now, the group under the aegis of Vote Must Count International Initiative had, through its country director, Dr. Barry Avoto Johnson, vowed to reject any judgment that does not declare Obi the winner of the February 25th presidential election. My country people, the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal had delivered its final judgment on the 6th of September 2023, where they threw out Obi and Atiku's petition. Yes, they kicked out Obi and Atiku's petition. They struck the petition out on the grounds that the petition lacked merit. Obi did not bring a concrete evidence to prove that there were cases of overvoting and how the results were mad, and a lot of things that they threw out at the tribunal, saying it lacked merit. Same goes for Atiku Abubakar. And most people were thinking, okay, that will be the end of the journey for the presidential candidate. But to our greatest surprise, Obi and Atiku, they insisted that they wouldn't drop this case so soon. So they decided to appeal the judgment at the Supreme Court. Because when the Court of Appeal gave their judgment, they said, well, that Atiku and Peter Obi, they shouldn't come to them again with this kind of case because they are done with them. So they decided to head to the Supreme Court, for a better judgment. And according to Asari Dokubo, he said at the tribunal, Obi's supporters were there, causing chaos, causing, troubles here and there, causing all manner of things, but has warned them to stay off the Supreme Court, just like they did at the Presidential Election Tribunal. So Asari Dokubo said he would personally occupy the Supreme Court with his own supporters to ensure that nobody, no group intimidates the apex court just like they did at the tribunal. Una know say Asari Dokubo na im own squad. Asari Dokubo get im own squad wey be say if anything dey sup like this, Asari Dokubo must be there. That was during the NLC now, when the NLC first held their protest and all of that. Asari Dokubo and his supporters, they were protesting, for Tinubu and all of that. So it was just, so surprising that NLC, they are protesting against Tinubu, and we have Asari Dokubo and his men protesting against those that are protesting against Tinubu. So a lot of things is just going on in this country, and people are asking questions. I mean, what does Asari Dokubo seek to gain in his undying support for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Yes, a lot of people will say he's looking for appointment. But then the first time he went to the Aso Rock, that's the Aso Rock Villa, he discussed with Tinubu on the oil theft and all of that. And a lot of people were like, see, e be like say Asari Dokubo eye don dey chook inside that contract wey dem give Tom Polo now. E be like say e wan collect Tom Polo contract. Na why e go meet Tinubu, but Tinubu last no still give am the contract, and Asari Dokubo still follow for people wey be say they dey wan drag that contract with Tom Polo. They are agitating that the contract should be split. Tom Polo mustn't cover all the Niger Delta regions and all of that. So my country people, this matter e get as e be. Now Asari Dokubo don talk say im go carry im own men. Anybody wey do anyhow for that Supreme Court, say they go collect o. Yes, he would ensure that nobody comes to stage any protest at the Supreme Court. He insisted that the verdict of the tribunal, which affirmed the election victory of Tinubu, was a fair one, and has urged all political parties, all candidates and their supporters to allow the Supreme Court to do its job. As you may know, the Labour Party presidential candidate had filed 50 grounds of appeal before the Supreme Court, challenging the September 6th verdict of the tribunal, which dismissed his petition in favor of Bola Tinubu. And the Apex Court is expected to deliver judgment on all election matters emanating from the tribunal within the next 60 days as required by the law. So guys, this is it. Asari Dokubo has issued his own warning, and I know Asari Dokubo will surely stick to what he has said. This is not the first time we have seen a man like Asari coming out to stage protest against those that are protesting against Tinubu. So my country people, this is the ways of Asari Dokubo. Now Nigerians have reacted to this. Well, I don't know what is Asari Dokubo's own cup of tea in this President Tinubu election affairs. We have the Nigerian police force, we have the Nigerian civil defense, we have the DSS, the FCC, and so on and so forth. Why is it that Asari Dokubo is just busy fighting Peter Obi and his supporters, while ignoring Atiku, who has dragged Tinubu to the US court and has defeated him hands down? Well, I'm beginning to see sense out of that Peter Obi. He might be the real winner of the February 25th election, and that's why Asari Dokubo is so scared and tries to intimidate him. Okay, let them seek justice, but what I know is once a failure is always a failure. Unless otherwise, Asari Dokubo should accept the truth. I think he's under the influence of hard drugs. Well, even you allowed them to protest during the tribunal. Now, wow. This ex-militant is now a chief judge at the Apex Court. Nigeria is a land of possibilities, oh. So Asari Dokubo is now the new IGP. How did Nigeria get to this point? Gradually, they would drift Nigeria into the hands of warlords. Okay, guys, these are some few reactions from Nigerians. Guys, I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comment section. Thank you.